Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the ForceLink 2.0 Poe Dameron and Resistance Ski Speeder. These guys are pretty cool, but before we take a closer look at them, let's go ahead and take a look at their packaging. Let me go ahead and move them out of the way real quick here. Let me get this in frame as well. Okay, so as you can see, it's got pretty standard ForceLink 2.0 packaging with a really nice image of the vehicle here, as well as a clear window for the figure down here in the corner. On the sides, it's got an image of Poe, and on this side, just talking about the ForceLink 2.0 stuff. And then on the top, I think this is the most interesting thing on there, is the price that I got this for. I don't know if you can see this, $6.99. Now, it says comparable value $20 on here, but at least in my area, these were going for about $40 a piece, which is absolutely insane. So I feel like a fair price for this would probably be about $20 to $25. But to get this for $6.99 is absolutely fantastic. And on the back here, we've got just some more images of the vehicle, kind of talking about some of its features, as well as some of the other things that were available in this wave. So let's go ahead and get back to the vehicle and figure itself. We'll start off with Poe Dameron here. Now, Poe stands at, let's see, 3 3/4 inches tall. So he's right in scale with all of your other 3 3/4 inch figures. And he does have a couple accessories. The first one here is his headset. They're very nicely sculpted. They don't have any paintwork or anything, but they do look nice. And when they're actually placed on his head, they don't look like too oversized. They do look a little bit oversized, obviously, but for the most part, I think they look pretty good. And then he does also come with his blaster pistol. Again, no paintwork or anything. But it is nicely sculpted, and it does fit into his holster very nicely. Let me go ahead and do that. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, that's definitely not going to fall out when you're posing the figure. And speaking of posing, this guy, of course, does not have very good posability. He's just a 5 POA figure, so he's got a swivel in the head, swivel in the shoulders, and swivel in the hips. You know, not the greatest articulation, but overall, you know, it is a pretty decent, you know, basic Poe figure, and it's, you know, good enough to just sit in the cockpit, so I can't complain too much. As far as the vehicle itself goes, this thing is really cool. Now, it's about 18 inches from wingtip to cockpit here, and then it sits at about 10 inches from the top of these guns to the back here. So it's got some pretty decent size, and it's absolutely packed full of features. The first one here is sort of unusual. He actually has a seat belt, and it's a ratcheted seat belt. Reminds me of those crash test dummy toys. I don't know if anybody else remembers those, but kind of reminds me of that. I don't know why Hasbro decided to do that. It's a little annoying, actually, but I guess I can't complain too much because he does sit in there, and he's definitely not going to fall out. And then on the top here, this little radiator or whatever it is, fan, is a button, and when you push it, the wing is spring-loaded, and it can pop off so you can simulate like a crash or something, which is pretty cool. And then it just clips back in there nicely. And then on the bottom, there are 2 pieces of landing gear that fold up on each side, just like that. And then there is a spring-loaded ski, I guess they're calling it, which is pretty cool. And then as you can see here, there's a trigger. And what that trigger does is fire these 2 missiles. And these things actually fire out with some pretty decent force, actually, for one of these toys. Let me go ahead and fire them. Yeah, as you can see there, that actually fires that pretty well. So overall, I really like this vehicle. And it's not just because of the price that I got it for, but I like the design overall. I think they did a really nice job designing it, and I also enjoy the paintwork that they've done on it. So I guess in conclusion, I really like this vehicle for what it is. I think this was one of the best scenes from Last Jedi, but I also like it for what it could be. So because of its kind of, you know, beat up nature and its paint scheme, it really reminds me of Tatooine. And I definitely think that it could be placed in the background of a Tatooine diorama and look pretty cool there. So if you're hesitant about picking this guy up, I definitely recommend it, especially at the $6.99 Ross price. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.